last season due to COVID, Vince Carter's career ended early. Even though he did play like 23 years in the league, it did end early. We saw him take the last shot. It was a wholesome moment. Everybody was laughing and they were sad that Vince left, and shit, I can even agree with that myself. But Vince Carter's career is very weird and very interesting. Let's get straight into it. Vince Carter came in the league in the 1998 draft, picked 5th by the Golden State Warriors. We obviously know he wouldn't stay with the Warriors. That motherfucker got traded on draft night. And he was a Toronto Raptor. Now, the craziest thing about being a Toronto Raptor is that at that time, we know this Toronto Raptor organization now as being solid. They're always close to the playoffs or in the playoffs. But back then, Toronto was an expansion team, and to say they were trash was an understatement. So Vince Carter came to this terrible team, and well, he really brought it life and brought them some type of a market that they didn't have before. In his rookie season, he averaged 18 points a game, and well, the whole league loved him. They saw his high-flying dunks. They saw his athleticism. You knew Vince Carter was going to be a superstar one day, but damn, the whole league loved him, and when we say this, we're not even capping. The very next season, he averaged 26 points per game. That was his breakout season pretty much, and he shot 40% from 3 and 47% from the field. He got the most All-Star votes in the country. He was the most popular superstar at this very young age of just being 23. This man came in, and not only did he bring Toronto a franchise, he brought them like somebody that's very entertaining. And Vince Carter would have a solid career in Toronto. He made the playoffs a couple times, but there was one incident that kind of summed up his Toronto tenure for Game 7 against the Philadelphia 76ers. It was the biggest game of the year and the biggest game the Raptors have had in franchise history to that point. Vince Carter went and decided to graduate from North Carolina the day of, and then he came in just like a couple hours before the game started. And there was a lot of people questioning his drive about how much he thinks this game actually means, because at the time it was the most important game in Toronto franchise history.
There were some people who questioned, including some of your teammates, who questioned your decision to go to North Carolina, considering the magnitude of this game. What's your response to that criticism?
I have no response. I have no comment for it. And the fact of the matter is I'm here. I'm ready to play.
A lot of people are calling this the biggest game in Toronto Raptors franchise history. If you take a step back, though, and look at it that way, can you understand that there would be concern?
I don't care.
Vince Carter would eventually get to that Game 7, and that series was very entertaining. Vince Carter had a 50-point game. Allen Iverson had a 50-point game. But Vince Carter pulled up, and he dropped 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists, but he shot 33% from the field and didn't hit one three-pointer all night. This man was a big reason for losing that series, and the Toronto Raptors wouldn't get to the playoffs for the 2 years after that. So Vince Carter was furious after missing the playoffs 2 years in a row. This man averaged 16 points, shooting 41% from the field in Toronto. And, well, Toronto knew he wanted the hell out. So they traded him to New Jersey, and all of a sudden, this man is averaging 27.5 points, and he's doing it on very great efficiency. Now, this is sad, bro. Vince Carter was like the poster man for the Raptors and the most loved man in the league. And then he does this kind of snaky thing. I wouldn't call it a complete snake job. But this man just decides to just stop playing hard and just quit on his franchise. He's one of the greatest Raptors of all time, but there's still a reason that the Raptors still have that, grudge against him, because he did quit on him back then in 2005. So he would have a couple good seasons in New Jersey, but we knew the biggest problem with him in New Jersey was the playoff production. I mean, the first year he came there, yeah, he averaged 27 points a game, but he shot 36% from the field. That's just something that's not going to get you anywhere. But rather early in his career, Vince Carter would become washed the second he got traded to Orlando, who was thought to be the finishing piece, the finishing touches to have a championship team after they made the finals the year before with Dwight Howard and Hedo Turkoglu and all those people. He was thought to be the finishing touch. But he comes to Orlando and averages 17 points per game, shooting pretty mediocre from the field. Vince Carter was washed at 33 years old. And yeah, he has had an amazing career, but really the only first half of it was memorable. After Orlando, he gets sent to Phoenix, averaged 13 points. Sent to Dallas, averaged 13 points. sent to Memphis. And then, since that Memphis and Dallas, Vince Carter was washed at a very young age, and he just decided, you know what? Who cares? I'm going to stay in this league for 10 more years, even if I'm washed. Because this man was washed at 33, and he played till 43 as washed. Was it because of the paychecks? Did he still want publicity? I have no idea. But this man was literally just fiending for paychecks, I guess. But we know Vince Carter is going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's 19th on the all-time leading scorer list right now with about 25,000 points. And we know he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. But his career was weird just because of how he backstabbed the Raptors. And then after those couple of New Jersey Nets days, his career wasn't done, but it was not the prettiness anymore. But so when people are going to be debating him all the time and they talk about his longevity at staying until 43, I mean, I wouldn't call that longevity. Averaging single-digit points and being like mediocre as a role player at that stage in your career is not longevity. To me, that's just you want to still play in the league. I never thought a superstar that was at 1 point averaging 30 points in a regular season would just be fine with averaging 5 points and just like not touching the floor every night. But yeah, yo, that's a very interesting career of Vince Carter and how he dropped off so fast out of nowhere, basically. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Leave a like and all that.